Welcome back to the year 2006. We're due for a trip down memory lane, and I just wanted to show you a couple of things that SPSyn can do. Now, obviously, I said that this SPSyn framework works on all versions of SharePoint. And I wanted to show you just how this actually works. So let me just briefly walk you through the old age of SharePoint. This is SharePoint 2007. WSS 3.0 actually, to be correct, and it works more or less the same as the previous one, or the new one, if you haven't seen that. And basically, I have two solutions installed here. These are binary, exactly the same ones that are available on Coldplex, or actually this is version 1.2 with a few minor tweaks, but it's basically the code that's ready for production. So we have two solutions here: the SPSyn framework and the SPSyn store. I just wanted to, to make sure we're not cheating in any way. I just wanted to again start blank, get a brand new site collection up and running, and notice, by the way, how blazingly fast this is compared to modern versions of SharePoint. This is actually one reason why I miss working with the old version massively. So if we just now add ourselves, create a new site collection, and I want to just make sure we have a clean slate on which to start. And now we're done. This is actually real time here. I'm not cheating in any way. This is how blazingly fast SharePoint 2007 is. So if now just look at this site, by the way, as I said, I want to point out that we were still looking at a preview of that SPSyn store. There's still a ton of polishing and stuff like that we need to do. But let me just go in and just show you now how everything works. We'll go into site features. We'll activate the SPSyn framework. And just by doing that, again, same binary compatible files that we have on that works on the 2007 version. We now go into site settings, and you'll see that there is now a section here for SPSyn. We can go and we can add these configuration packages. Here's the same, stuff that we had previously. We can add jQuery, and that will basically, if we look at the source code now, you'll see that, let me just bring this into the picture here. You'll see that we now actually have these scripts added to the page. So this is basically SPSyn working. But I wanted to add one more step to this, and I wanted to make sure that we actually also have the App Store available. So let me just go into the site settings, and I want to go to the site features, and I want to activate the SPSyn store. You may actually have noticed that there was a link in the menu to SPSyn store. Again, polishing needs to be done. That shouldn't be there. It's actually a slightly, it's a remnant of some old code that I wrote just to make things work. But now if we go to the configuration packages, you'll see that we now have the SPSyn store, and it actually technically works. This is, by the way, one of the ways we have to cheat, and this is the way we have to cheat in SharePoint 2010. This is not really required in 2007, but we have to do this in order to make things work in 2010. If you go to the SPSyn App Store, you'll see that we now have the Google Analytics resource type. Actually, let me show you first that there's no Google Analytics resource type available. So let's go to Manage Resources. And we'll look here, and there's, you see, just the default out-of-the-box script resources and style sheet resources. So again, let's go back to site settings. We'll go into the configuration packages. And again, it'll probably be a better place when I release the final code. So let's go into the App Store. Notice that technically, don't tell anyone, but we're cheating by going into central administration to do this. This is, as I said, a way to circumvent some of the new security features of 2010. There's actually no circumventing at all, but that's still technically how it works. So Google Analytics resource type, let's just quick install this. And this, as I said, binary, exactly the same code that you have for the version you've seen running on the other videos. It's probably, if you're watching this sometime after I record this video, it'll probably be the same code that you find on the Coldplex site. Now, if you just head back to our site settings, we can go into manage our resources, and what you should see here in a couple of seconds after the application pool recycles, is that if we now go into the new menu, you'll see that there is now a Google Analytics resource type. As I said, exactly the same code, exactly the same binary files that you have for all the other versions of SPSyn. It's actually, there is just one version of SPSyn now, and it works on both 2007 and on 2010. So that's basically, and then, well, let me actually, now that we're already here, let me just show you this. If you've seen the video showing how the Google Analytics resource type work, you may have seen that I added some fancy new error detection mechanism. So in this case, if we forget to add the Google Analytics UID, just add a name for it. We'll hit OK, and now you'll see that there's an error message that basically tells you that you configured everything, but it's not working correctly. You need to configure it again. Can go into the item and we can see that we now get the same error message. We'll go to edit item and we'll go to add a correctly formatted, although obviously not valid, Google Analytics UID, and everything goes away. And now if you look at the source code, I'll just scroll that over here. You'll see that we actually now have the Google Analytics code added. So this is the SPSyn App Store running on SharePoint 2007.